Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Bravo Bedside Banter. I am Meredith, and I'm joined here with my beautiful co-host, Rachel.
Jet-lagged co-host today.
Jet-lagged and still stunning.
Thank you, my dear. We both had busy weekends. You were worried about flooding in Georgia.
Yes.
And I was flying back to Indiana from Hawaii, which is a long-ass flight.
And especially for a shorter period of time, you really must love these people to put up with the jet lag.
Yeah. And then I crammed into seeing everyone in the trip because I'm not going back to the mainland very much. So I was like, okay, since I'm back home for a wedding in Indiana, I'm also going to see my friends in Chicago. I'm also going to see my friends in Michigan. So it was just like a go trip.
Well, I love that you were able to do it, and you're back in Hawaii.
I'm back in Hawaii, and your home is safe.
My home is safe.
Kelso's safe.
Kelso is safe, minimal branches and limbs. So I feel very fortunate. I mean, our other parts of Georgia were not as fortunate. I have family down in South Georgia that they had some trouble with their power being out for days. My brother was in Western North Carolina near Asheville, and he had to get out of there. So there's a lot of devastation that has definitely hit the southeast of the United States. And my thoughts and my heart are with those people as they struggle to figure out how to move forward.
Yeah, definitely. We're thinking about all the people that are going through this and figuring out what next, because that's a really scary place to be in.
Yeah, I mean, it's just hurricane season right now, right? And luckily, thankfully, I dodged damage from this one. And then I just saw on the news that there's a possible another something forming in the Gulf, and I'm supposed to be headed to Houston this weekend.
Oh my God.
As we record this weekend.
Yeah.
Once the episode comes out, it'll have been passed. So we'll see.
Hopefully you make it, or no matter what, you're safe, whether you decide to go or not.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hope everything is good there. But
on a really not so subtle transition from devastation to glamour and glitz, let's talk about the New York housewives.
Well, yes. And I also yes, that's it. There's not much happening in OC right now. We are in a lull, and I will say that their mid-season trailer is incredibly promising. I love that everybody is rallying around Shannon. I mean, she's had a really difficult year, and she's gone through it. And I'm encouraged by the rest of the season, to say the least.
I hope so too. And to be honest, I haven't watched last week's OC or Salt Lake City because I've been going. So the only thing I'm caught up on right now is New York. And I watched Nobody Wants This. Have you started that on Netflix?
No.
That's the
thing.
I
don't have Netflix right now.
I started it with my friend Holly, and if you're listening to this and you've watched it, let me know what you think. It's so cute, Meredith. It's like Kristen Bell and Adam Brody, and he's a rabbi and she's a Gentile, but they fall in love. It's like a cute little rom-com show.
Cute.
Yeah. So that's what I am caught up.
Okay. So diving in, New York premiered season 15.
Okay.
Real Housewives of New York.
My millennial self is so fucking excited to see Rebecca Minkoff. Because how old are you, Meredith? You're 30.
I'm 28. I will be 29 this month, Libra season.
Yes. Okay. I couldn't remember if you were turning 30 or not. Okay. So we're 4 years apart then. Was Rebecca Minkoff as big of a deal in college as it was for me? Like in college, Rebecca Minkoff was like the it girl bag.
It was like, no.
It passed by then. Okay. That's what I thought.
I would say it wasn't you definitely saw her bags, but it wasn't like everybody, maybe I just wasn't in with it, but it wasn't like, oh my God, everybody has to have it.
What state did you do your undergrad in too?
Arizona.
Okay. Yeah. Cause you were in Tucson.
Yeah.
So maybe it was like a little bit different, the style too, because it's like a little more Southern kind of, or what would you describe the style there?
It's very interesting because where I went to school, there was a lot of people from California.
Uh-huh.
in other places. There was a huge population from Chicago and a huge population of people from specifically the Newport area in California, and then some people from Northern California. Really random. They joked that I went to the U of A and they were like, "Oh, it's the University of California at Arizona," because so many
Yeah.
people from California went there. But so I would say that my college, like people around me in college, that was one fashion sense, and then the people that are local to Tucson or
Totally
local to
different.
Arizona at the time, like think of like a buckle,
Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
like the store buckle.
Yep. Oh, I
That
remember.
there were a lot of people from Arizona that like embodied the store buckle.
Wow. Really a throwback. Okay. I'm having so many visuals of that. I remember in
Yeah.
high school, my best friend, her brother worked at a buckle, her older brother, and we thought he was like the coolest thing ever. And we'd like
At
go,
one point, it had a
yeah.
moment.
I think Rebecca Minkoff, I think was really popular in Chicago because when I think about the people I know that even wore her bags in Denver when I moved after college and I went to Indiana University. So there's a lot of people from Chicago, obviously, that come down
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
And then when I moved to Denver and I had a lot of Chicago friends still, Rebecca Minkoff was still really in style with that group. So I think it might be like a maybe Chicago, New York type of thing because there's
Yeah.
also a lot of people from New York that come to IU.
I
And
can see that.
like it kind of fits in with the vibes, like the chunky metals, the like dark leathers. Like
So, okay.
I should go get my bag for our next thing because I have one in my closet. I still have one of her bags, and I'm gonna wear it.
Love. I mean, I would not be surprised if she had that like another like a Renaissance resurgence moment
Yeah,
happening.
I really want to see more of her. I was bummed like she only said a couple things, but what she did say was funny. The whole like I like roll my titties up to put them in my bra.
I'm a bra.
Yeah.
So, okay, question. Was Brynn being a shady lady
Brynn
when
is
she
being
said,
super shady.
okay, but do you know
Oh.
the comment that I'm referencing?
No, I just meant overall in this whole episode she was shady.
So Brynn is definitely the pot stirrer this season, but we can already tell that. I think she was talking to her brother and she's like, have you ever heard of like Rebecca Minkoff? Like you can see her bags at Nordstrom Rack, which, okay, Nordstrom Rack is not a bad place. Like, love to find a good deal on some good brands. Love a Nordstrom Rack situation. I have no shade to say about Nordstrom Rack, but do you think that her intent behind it was like, oh, you can see the bitches things at Marshalls, or like maybe
Yes.
you see them on the clearance rack?
Yes, I do. Do you think so?
Yeah,
Because also, so Nordstrom Rack also carries contemporary designers and high end designers. Like some
yeah.
Nordstrom Racks have Gucci and Prada, and so it's not all like.
I ain't never been to that Nordstrom Rack.
So
That sounds
okay, there's actually only a couple in the country. I learned this because I was there last week shopping for a wedding guest dress because
okay.
this wedding was super conservative. The guy my friend was marrying grew up Amish. So like I realized I have nothing that does not show off my titties. So I was on an emergency dress run, went to Nordstrom Rack, and they had this is crazy. An additional 75% off sale items of all their contemporary and modern designers. So Theory, ALC, Veronica Beard. I got Alexander McQueen's silk shorts for $20. Like, yeah. So I say that to be like, we love a deal. And
Yeah.
there's some housewives that love a deal. Like we know some housewives that love a bargain.
Well,
And it's not just like shitty designers that are there. There's good designers.
you know who I know for sure loves a fucking deal? Sonia Morgan.
I was just going to say Sonia Morgan loves Century 21.
She loves a deal.
RIP. I think Century 21's gone.
Well, this is the thing. So bitches that come through, okay, this trope already, we're going to have an issue around Aaron calling Jenna Lyons broke. Well, we all know that the bitch ain't broke. We all know that she has a gorgeous penthouse. We all know that she also has a secondary home that is not, some shack, right?
And
so
her car breaking down is not because she's poor. It's because it's like an old vintage car.
Right.
Like,
well, and I would even say, and this is me being shady lady, right? you keeping track, if you're so doing great and you keeping track of a $200 Uber, even $300 Uber, and you're telling people about it, sorry, bitch, but that's poor behavior.
It
That is broke
is.
bitch behavior. And I know because I've been there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. When you're like, hey, please pay me back. I really need this money. I can't survive.
Right.
Yep.
But if you were that pressed for an Uber, hello.
Yes. I'm sure she was flustered and just trying to get her car stuff situated and just kind of like it slipped her mind. Or there's been so many times too where I get distracted. I think about Venmoing someone when I'm like in with a client or when I'm like
Yeah.
doing something and I'm like, gotta remember that.
I'm so bad at it too. I mean, in this day and age, it's so easy to be distracted. We have so many different things working from home. You forget.
Also,
I cannot. Sorry, what?
etiquette. Do you like when people Venmo request you or do you get
Yes.
upset? I love it.
I love it.
Some people get upset though. They're like, I will remember. Or like, are you trying to get money from me? And I'm like, I love because then I remember it. And then Venmo reminds me.
Thank God.
Right. I can't remember everything.
Right. And it's something that, like, if I can't get to it right now, they'll keep reminding you and you'll get to it tomorrow. Or, I will never leave somebody out to dry for a long time with it, unless it's a circumstance where I'm like, hey, I'll get it to you on Friday or something. I will
Yeah.
communicate that to someone.
But if Aaron's so upset with it, just Venmo request her.
Do you believe, like, do you think Jenna Lyons is on Venmo? Like, for
It's so
real.
true. We're like talking about it like these people have Venmo. Um
Like,
they're
we're
probably
commoners.
yeah, we're peasants. Even with my silk Alexander McQueen shorts and my Rebecca Minkoff purse from TJ Maxx, I am still a commoner.
Come on, girl.
Um,
Yes.
I'm guessing there's probably a rich person version of Venmo. Maybe they use PayPal or Cash App. I could see them using PayPal.
Apple Pay.
Apple Pay. That's what they're doing. Apple Pay.
It's Apple Pay. Well, I mean, money is money at the end of the day. Who the fuck, I don't really think people care of how you get it as long as you get it.
What do you think about Aaron coming in? Aaron and Brynn are coming in hot, both of them.
Coming in hot. I have so many opinions, and before I deep dive into that, I also want to acknowledge the newest member of the cast, which is Jessel's new teeth.
I'm so glad you brought that up because for the first like 10 minutes, I was like, why does she look so different? Like, her face doesn't look different. Her body, like, she's like, I cannot figure out what looks different. And you just hit it. And I was like, I think it's her teeth and I have to ask Meredith.
Drastically different.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, go off. That shit's not cheap. Talk about rich bitch problems. Come on.
Yeah.
So that aside, Aaron coming in hot, what I think is going on, I think that the two of them have understood the name of the game for housewives. I think that the two of them have done their homework and know how this goes. I think overall they are coming in hot so that they can ensure a successful season for both themselves and for the franchise, And then on the other side, I think that Sai may have drank the Kool-Aid from producers last season and really let them get her. And I think that she's becoming more self-aware. Who knows? We'll see how this plays out. But I think she is becoming more self-aware of her behavior from last season.
I died when they showed the clip of I've never been to a therapy, when she was like a therapy.
And then Jenna Lyons was like, so I hear you're in therapy. And she's like, shut the fuck up.
They don't like each other though, I think, because Jenna Lyons reminds me of Amanda Batula in this way of like she just has style. Yeah, she has an incredible closet, but Jenna Lyons has style. Sai has fashion. Like Paige DeSorbo has fashion and like can put together she can go into a store and put together fashion. Amanda Batula and Jenna Lyons on the other hand, however, have style, like where they put together unique things where you're like, oh, cool. Not like I got everything from Versace and I just am like drenched in designer.
I think too that because of who Jenna Lyons, she's Jenna fucking Lyons. It's in her tagline.
Yeah, I love
just
it.
Because of who she is, I think she can pull off anything. And I agree to you. And I know nothing about style or fashion, okay? Coming from someone that I wear the same shit all the time and I wear it for comfort, okay? I'm not wearing clothes to please other people. Um,
I'm also a
I,
comfort queen. But
you're
I
a
think
comfort
Vanilla
person?
Lyons is kind of a comfort queen. When you look at her and like the way she dresses, it's like she's stylish, but she's also like looks comfy most of the time.
I don't know. I
No.
look at a whole collection of things that are pointy and with heels, her shoes. You can catch me not.
What would you give up or what torture would you go through in order to go to Lyons' closet for the day and take anything you wanted? Everything you wanted. Multiple items.
I don't know. I don't think that that is my thing. Like I wish that it was. Like
I
what
think
I
I
would
would.
give for the day actually, I would go to great lengths for someone to come to me and say let me style you and put in your closet. But
Oh, okay.
me, I don't have it in me to go, oh my God, this would be such a vibe. Like, I am about ease and convenience. If I see an outfit that looks good online and it looks together, cool. Like, I 90% of the time am a t shirt and something comfortable or like styled t shirt, like t shirt with earrings. And right now I'm in a t shirt.
But I'm with you on that. Like, I'm a big fan of a baggy t-shirt. Like, most of my closet is a baggy t-shirt, and then I just wear cool jewelry with it. Or I'll wear a
Yeah.
baggy t-shirt with like a slip skirt or a baggy, which I think is like elder millennial cringe. I saw on TikTok the other day. So I'm elder millennial cringe with that outfit. But I like wear, or like,
Work. You better work it.
yeah. So I'm a baggy t-shirt girl, though. I love a baggy t-shirt. That's the part of being raised in evangelical purity culture that I haven't worked out. Yeah.
Well, my ass is in a crop top. I take every long shirt and crop it. I'm like,
You do love a crop.
somebody needs to see this body that I'm working on.
Body yaddy.
Yeah.
You got that Pilates booty.
Trying. Trying.
Same.
So I may be an athleisure, but you're gonna see these curves.
Who do you think are going to be the alliances on this season? Because
It's
some
hard to
people
tell with
seem
the
a little,
newbies.
yeah, like Sai doesn't seem aligned with anyone.
No. I'm curious if Sai is gonna come off with this I've with this almost Whitney vibe of like I
Mm,
am self-aware, I am working on myself, I am healed. Um,
held. I'm in my
I
telling.
think I don't know. That's a prediction that could happen, and she could come out, and people just kind of don't love it.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell right now. Uba is
She,
happy,
I think I love when she was like, I don't have time for a man. Sometimes I want to fly to Paris just for dessert. And I was like, queen. That's queen behavior. I don't have
but
time
she's
for a man because
also.
sometimes I want to fly to Paris to eat food.
But then she also is like, and I may just have a baby with this man that
I
she's with.
know. Does she like him enough to have a baby, or do you think she just wants a baby?
I think she's. I see genuine happiness in her. I think
Yeah,
that she might be in love. I think that she. I don't know. She just looks so. In the little bit that we got to see her, she looks so happy.
she does look happy.
Um, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
This is something that we've kind of touched on. So, Aaron, they pan back to Aaron being on a podcast. And whenever she was asked about what do you think? Do you think Brynn is somebody's bankrolling Brynn? And I think her reaction was genuine. No, I don't think so. I don't think she was going out of her way to prove that person
Yeah.
wrong. Mr.
Also,
Lewis, wrong. What are your thoughts, though, on that whole insinuation?
I thought the insinuation was really well. Jeff Lewis is a whole other thing. Like, I love Jeff Lewis because he's fun and snarky, but also like he's a little bitch,
Yeah.
and I mean that in the most degrading way possible, not in the feminist way.
But he's
he
also, that's his brand.
It's his brand, right? But I think the way he said it was like really negative towards being a sex worker. And the insinuation was not that like she has a secret boyfriend. The insinuation was that she has like a sugar daddy or someone that's like
Yes.
paying her for her time, her body in exchange for bankrolling. And the insinuation that that is happening, let alone that that is bad, is really what upset me. Like, first of all, I was actually thinking about this because new housewife Bronwyn on SLC, like you could say, like, how is what she did marrying that old, ugly, rich man not sex work? Like, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, how? There's no way she looked at him and was like, he's so hot. I cannot wait to fuck him. He looks like her grandfather and he's unattractive and like, but he's rich as fuck. So, like, how is that not sex work? How is that? What are you getting in exchange for having sex with him? What are you getting in exchange for marrying him? You're getting money, you're getting ease, you're getting luxury, you're getting a life that you want.
Yeah. And not to say, I mean, that's, and if that's what somebody's path is, that's not a bad thing.
Right. I think like maybe I'm doing a bad job because I'm like, so tired, but like I think the comparison I'm trying to draw is like that one is not seen as sex work because she's married and because she says she loves him and because like they have a life together, right? But like how is that different than if someone was bankrolling Bryn's life and she was also having sex with him?
Or not. I mean,
Or
there are
not.
also sugar daddies who are just like, text
I
me
just
at
want my
night, send
time.
me a FaceTime, or yeah, come
Yeah.
and drink wine with me at 9 p.m. at this, speakeasy. Like, there are so many different manifestations of that. And that's not even, I don't give a fuck. Somebody's life, if they want to be involved with a sugar daddy situation or if they want to be in sex work, as long as it is consensual and as long as you are protecting yourself, then please, by all means, go for it. That is not the
Absolutely.
issue. The issue here is Jeff Lewis coming in with that assumption. And then also for Brynn to stigmatize that so far, to say, because I agree. I don't think that he was coming in hot saying, hey, I think that you're fucking somebody for
Yeah.
money. And that's how she embodied it.
Right. She turned it into like, I can't believe anyone would think I'm doing that. That's so gross. That's so wrong. Was like the way she came off.
Her exact words were lewd and disgusting.
Mm-hmm. Which you're saying that sex work is lewd and disgusting when let's break it down. I actually had an argument with a man at the wedding over this. This like very misogynistic man I met at the wedding. He was the photographer. And
Not Rachel getting in an argument with
not me
Rachel.
getting into a feminist argument after many drinks at my friend's wedding. I said something about someone made a joke and I said, well, sex work is work. And he goes, yeah, but it's not the oldest form of work. Fishing is because people used to trade fish for sex. And I was like, I just looked at him and I said, that's the most idiotic thing I've ever heard. And as someone who is actually in this industry and knows what I'm talking about and is literally writing a book on the history of feminism currently, I can tell you that sex work is the oldest work because it is the first type of work that there was ever a monetary exchange and not a bartering for,
Well,
which
and
is why,
also trading fish for sex is still like,
yeah, it's still work. And but sex work is the first type of work where there was a monetary exchange and where we stopped kind of like giving cows and goats and stuff.
also like, homie, you're a photographer at a wedding. Like, stay in your lane.
Oh, yeah. I
Like, what
called
are
him,
you doing? What are you doing chatting with the guests and getting in arguments? Like, what the fuck?
he, I called him my arch nemesis after that. I was like, there's my arch nemesis. And then he heard me and he was like, why am I your arch nemesis? And I'm like, because you're driving me nuts and you're annoying.
Girl, you better watch out. You might get a bad edit on those photos.
No, I'm going to get bad at it. It's fine.
Or
It's fine.
your friend's gonna get their wedding album back and they're gonna say, where's Rachel? Wasn't she there?
Yeah, right? So,
Oh my God.
but this insinuation that sex work is lewd and gross is like, because we're, it goes back to this idea that we're demonizing women instead of men. Men are creating the economy for sex work. Like, men are what we live in an economy where, like, when people want something, the service is created. Men
And
are
it works both ways too. Like, there are
right.
also like any sex and gender can
Yes,
purchase and exchange money for sex
yes,
or
you're right.
drugs or other things.
Yes, but it's like we sex work is happening because people want it also. So to say like
Right.
it's this woman's fault or that it's lewd and gross to be a sex worker when it's like why are we not saying like it's lewd and gross for I don't ever hear people talk about men in the way like, or people that are paying for sex, let's say, in the way that they talk about sex workers.
Yeah.
What do you think? I got upset with that. I know we were texting back and forth at like 7 a.m. my time.
I totally agree with that. I mean, I did a whole paper on like how if we just like legalize sex work in the United States and we were able to regulate it and protect these people, that actually it would be such a better situation than these people that are working under the table, and they don't have access to, right. They don't have access to legal protections that anybody else has that are working a regular job. Not that that's not a regular job, but a more traditional job, a legal job.
Yeah.
So that being said, that really upset me. And then another point in this episode that was also stuck out to me that I wanted to text you on it, and then I'm like, we'll chat about it when we record. Erin coming in so hot at her husband when they were at dessert with their kids. She said verbatim, "Are you dumb?"
When I heard that, I was like, oof. First of all, that's really dangerous to say in front of your children, because your children are going to hear that and they're going to go to school and they're going to say that to other children.
I will say her children, I believe, walked away or something
Okay.
for the moment. I don't know if they were in the vicinity or if they heard that, but yes.
Demeaning someone with language like that is so... And I'm not saying this in a gendered way, like men deserve respect. Both partners deserve respect, and that's a really disrespectful way to talk to your partner.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whenever I talk, I mean, I think of a very similar situation that I've had with a client. Whenever I talk to clients about building a foundation, a strong foundation for a healthy, loving, reciprocal relationship, the number one ingredient that you include is respect. And the second that there is an unequal level of respect, or if there is a total lack of respect from either one or both sides, that is whenever everything goes out of the window. Everything is fucked up. And I think that something have happened. Either something happened recently, or maybe they just have never potentially had this foundation of respect. But my speculation is that something has happened recently that has made her lose respect for her husband.
There's something going on. There's like deep tension. You can feel it in that scene before she even says anything. Like there's deep tension between the two of them.
Yep.
The way you speak to your partner, like, just so deeply matters. If I had a session like that and I had a client that looked over, or either, let's make it genderless because it doesn't really matter at this point, of like, if I had a client that looked at their other partner and said, "Are you dumb?" I would look at them and say, "We're going to pause right here for a second. That language, let me talk about the language you just used." And we'd break it down and be like, "That language is abusive. I know that you are a good person. I know you do not want to abuse your partner, but that language is abusive. So we're not going to, and it's not productive to a therapy session, and it's not productive to the work that you're saying you want to do. You say you want to improve your communication. That's not productive to your goals. So how often does things like that come up? What's the anger that's causing this like eruption?" But yeah.
Well, and also in no circumstances is "are you dumb" going to achieve what you want it to. Like, what message are you trying to get that "are you dumb" will deliver that?
It's lazy. It's a lazy way to talk to your partner.
It's 100% disrespectful. And I understand that sometimes we have moments and we learn from them. I have a feeling that there's something going on behind the scenes.
There's an affair, or he lost all their money. One or the other.
Or something. There's something that she had once had respect for him and now she did not. Because it is ironic to me that the whole reason of her calling him dumb was because he said something on TV about, something about magical mushrooms or tripping on mushrooms or something. I can't even remember what the comment was. It was about shrooms. And she said, "Why would you say that on national TV?" And then proceeds to feel comfortable enough to
Say it more.
talk down on her
Yeah.
husband on TV.
Talking down to your partner is just a really dangerous thing. I think there's two things that can happen, that when, like, it's really patronizing. I think that's the word I'm looking for. Is like, it's disrespectful. It's also patronizing. Like, that's the way an angry parent talks to a child. Like, don't talk to your partner like they're a child.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, also, yeah, you just don't do that. There are so many other things or ways to convey your frustration, including that's incredibly frustrating, or maybe there wasn't thought or intention as to why you said that, and
Or
that's
just like,
frustrating
babe,
to
don't
me.
say that on TV. Like, and make a
Yeah,
joke out of it, like, and just be like, babe, why'd you say that on TV?
right. So I don't know. That was interesting, and I think that may give way to why Erin is tightly wound already, coming in hot.
She is coming in hot.
Circling back to our
I
beginning
know.
here.
And I want to add too, because I think this is important. I'm circling back a little bit to the sex work part, because I think so many people too think that sex work is all like seedy, and it's all like in an alleyway with women like on the corner. And like, yes, that is a type of sex work, sure. And or that women are forced into sex work. Women People can choose sex work, and it can be a very liberating decision for them.
Yeah,
Not everyone is forced into sex work. And the way I like to think about it is like, there's consensual sex work and there's non-consensual sex work. The majority of sex work that we see is consensual, and there is a lot, there's trafficking, and that's non-consensual sex work.
right. Yeah, I think that's important too. So thanks for adding that.
Yeah. It's not all Pretty Woman.
No.
And I
Well,
can tell
and
you statistically, you know someone who has hired a sex worker
or has been one
or
themselves.
has been one. Yes.
And in some way, like with the internet, like, yeah, we could even go on a whole
Well,
tangent
because
about like
like,
what OnlyFans
that's
and
sex work.
yeah, like where is the line? I mean, I know some people don't identify as that, which is fine. You get to choose however you identify with that.
Like,
But
you
like,
don't have
yeah,
to define yourself as a sex worker if you do those things. You get to choose what you call yourself. But like, it is sex work
yeah.
to be on OnlyFans.
That I mean, ooh, that's a whole nother
I
can of
know.
worms. Yeah, that's really all I have on the Real Housewives of New York premiere. Do you have anything else before we wrap up?
Um, no, I think that was it. Now I'm going to catch up on our other shows, come back with more details. I loved the new Salt Lake City taglines that we got.
Oh, yeah. That is
I
going to be
didn't
my
want to say.
highlight of the week.
I was dying.
Oh my God. It marries and you all are sheep.
Mm-hmm.
No, you
Oh,
all
I
are
know.
dressed like sheep.
Yeah, I'm the shepherd, and you all are dressed like sheep.
I
Mary is.
thought like that could be like my highlight and my ick. Heather's like I'm a little done with the I know that she's
Received.
capitalizing.
Yeah.
But her tagline, come on, she could have done so many like my body is snatched. Like she could have like said something like that.
My I was really disappointed in the New York taglines. I was like, these aren't good. Like, just even like Jenna Lyons, like, it was funny and iconic because it's like, I'm Jenna fucking Lyons, and she like didn't even try to have a tagline.
Right.
Which I love that Jenna just like gives nothing and is there.
JFL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but the rest of them, I was like, these aren't good or fun.
I think though that style of tagline and like intro, I think it's an homage to the original Housewives. Like the original taglines were so fucking cheesy and so like yeah. So maybe that's kind of they're like trying to give that like vintage New York like 1920s vibe. I don't know.
Yeah, totally.
Do you have a highlight this week?
Highlight
Something
this
that is
week.
an ick?
Let's see. My ick was the sex work comments and insinuations, and when Brynn said that was lewd to assume that of her. That was my ick. And then my highlight, My highlight was like this is separate, but like my highlight was going to see my friends and getting a quick drop in Chicago for a weekend.
I love that for you.
Yeah, that was really nice, even if I'm dying right now of exhaustion.
Well, girl, go get yourself an espresso martini at 9 a.m.
I've got clients until 2, and then I probably will have an espresso martini after that.
You deserve it. And yeah, I think that that's it for this week. Thanks so much for joining us. We will see you next week, and have a great day.
Like, comment, subscribe, follow, send us questions, comments, because we want to hear from you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.